So here's just a little bit of review from the last video we did. So we distributed the negative, distributed the negative to both the 8 and the 5i. Then by doing that, we changed it to addition. Writing it vertically helps me kind of understand that you do the reals and the imaginaries, and that's how you end up with your two-part answer there. So, moving on to question 2. We get into distributing or multiplying. Multiplying two complex numbers. Two different ways to do it. The only thing I ever learned when I was in school is the one on the left. That's because most math teachers aren't very creative at looking at things different ways. And so, many years ago I got taught this by someone else, and I thought, hey, I like it. Now, you can pick whichever way you want to do it. I don't really care. It's up to you. So, if you would like to use the one on the left, be my guest. If you want to use the box on the right, because foil comes in a box, I totally understand. Now, in fact, I like to use the box, especially as things get bigger and you have a larger box, you tend to lose less information. So you can see I took the 8 plus 6i, put it across the top, 2 plus i. Nothing magical about how I did that. You could just as easily reverse it. 8 times 2 gives me 16. 8 times I gives me 8i. So you're just matching up rows and columns. And then adding like terms. Now we get to something interesting down here. 6i squared. Whether you do it with the method on the left by, drawing arrows and things, it's up to you. But I squared, remember that? I squared. We talked about that in a different video. I squared equals, oops, not the square root of. Who in the world? Nope, that's not right. I squared is -1. So we can replace that I squared with a -1 and then realize that this is -6. Well, -6 is a like term to 16. So they can be added together, and that's how we get this 10. And then, of course, you got the 18i, or the 8i and the 12i, and that adds up to 20i. And that's the second part of your two-part answer. So whether you do it on the way on the left or the way on the right, I don't care. You just pick whichever way works for you the best. Okay. I'll clear that out. Question 3, more practice. Pick whichever way you like. That you're multiplying them together. You got your 32 and your -16i and your 4i, and then -2i squared. Well, that's -2 times -1, which is +2. Oops, equals +2, which is a like term to 32, and that's how we get this 34. And the i's add up to -12i. That's how you get your two-part answer. Whether you do it the old-fashioned horizontal way or with the box, doesn't matter to me. Pick what is easiest to you. 4 is looks a little bit different, but it's not really. You're just distributing. 3i times 5, that's my -15i, or my +15i. 3i times -9i, -27i squared, which we know that's -27 times -1, or +27. You could see that we normally, since we want to write things in a plus bi form, we put the real portion first and the imaginary portion second. So 27 plus 15i is your answer. Dividing looks a little bit more complicated, but it's not really. The goal here, slide that over a little bit, maybe make it a little smaller. The goal is to get rid of I from the denominator. Get rid of I from the denominator. Right down here, we want to get rid of that I. So, if we multiply by the conjugate, now what is the conjugate of a minus bi? That would be a plus bi. Running out of room with my face there. A plus bi. Those are conjugates. So, 7 plus 2i has a conjugate of 7 minus 2i. Now remember that if you multiply something to the bottom of a fraction, you also must multiply the same thing on the top. Because, we're not changing the value of the fraction, we're only changing what it looks like. So by multiplying by the same thing on the top and bottom, we're only multiplying the whole fraction by 1. Now, as you can see, we're going to FOIL on the top and FOIL on the bottom. Now, I chose to do it with the boxes. You don't have to, right? And you can see, that we would get our 35, our 35, and our negative 10i, and our negative 21i, and our 6i squared, which we all know is negative 6. Negative 6 and 35 add up to 29. And the i's add up to negative 31i. On the bottom, 7 and 7 is 49. Now, I want you to notice something here with your i's. You got a positive 14i and a negative 14i. I crossed them off. They always cancel out. See, that's what you were trying to get. You wanted that to happen in the first place. So, exactly what we wanted. No i's in the denominator. Down here we have negative 4i squared, which we know that's positive 4. And 4 plus 49 makes 53. Now, how do I write that in a plus bi form? Well, we split it up into two separate fractions. Oops. So here we have it. There's your a and your bi. Two separate fractions, same denominator. 29 over 53 minus 31 over 53i. Sorry for the yawning. I know. You're making you tired. You don't need to be tired. Hopefully you're not doing this super late at night. But yeah, I think this is the last problem in this particular group. Yep, last problem in that group. So now you are ready for set 2, or set 2 SWYK 2, and then of course your assignment, and then you'll be ready for your test. Good luck on everything, and have a great day.